Shalom Bracha. I wanted to retell over a metaphorical story that I heard from an Indian guru. I'm going to try and give it over in a Jewish context. The nice thing about metaphorical stories is they tend to be pan-cultural. They tend to be larger than any particular religion or culture. So the story goes like this. There was a boy and his father was extremely wealthy. He wanted to do everything he could to try and find honor in his father's eyes. And he went to his father. He said, "Father, I finished school. Now before me, I have many options. What should I do?" The father says, "You should do something that's meaningful to you. You should do something that's meaningful. You should know that we come from a long line of really interesting and important people. And you should do something that really captivates you and that you think is important. And you shouldn't forget your traditions, your people, your culture, your religion, because this is something that's passed down to you. It's really important." The son said, "Okay." So he thought about it. He said, "Okay, well, I want to go study this at university." So off he went to university. He studied for 4 or 5 years. He did very well in his exams. He passed. And he came home and he said to his father, "Father, I've completed my studies." And the father said, "Wow, that's great." And the son said, "Normally it's traditional, it's some kind of, it's quite normative that you get some kind of gift upon your graduation of university. And I know that you're very wealthy, and I'd like a Lamborghini. I'd like a sports car." And the father thought about it. He heard the son, and they left it at that. At the graduation, the father turned up and he gave him a leather-bound Tanach. And the son looked at the Tanakh and he said, "Where's the sports car?" And he was furious. It led to many more arguments. The son didn't feel appreciated. He felt that that his father didn't listen to him. His father has all this money. Why can't he spare him a little bit of cash for a sports car? What's he doing giving me a Tanakh? Don't we have 3 Tanachs at home in the bookshelf? Anyway, things got worse and worse and worse between the father and the son. They didn't speak for many years. The son eventually moved away. He built a new life. He built a new reality. And the father passed away, and the mother begged him, "Please come home for the Shiva, come home for the funeral. You guys didn't speak for many years, but he's still your father. There's still a degree of respect that's owed to him." Son came home, and walking around the family house after many years, after decades perhaps, he starts to feel something. He looks around at the family home, looks at the pictures on the wall, starts to get that feeling that maybe this decision to walk away from his father was the wrong decision. He walks and he sees in the bookshelf, he sees a brown leather-bound Tanakh. And he picks it up. He says, "Wow, this is the Tanakh that my father gave me when I graduated. And I never even looked in it. I wonder if it has an inscription." He turns the first page and there's a beautiful handwritten inscription. "My son, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of everything you've achieved. I can't wait to see the man you're going to become." And right there is a receipt. Is a receipt for a Lamborghini Testarossa in red, exactly what the son would have wanted. And the son is shocked, he's horrified. There it was right in front of me the whole time. It was so stupid, it was so pointless. I lost everything. I lost the Lamborghini. There's now the receipt's out of date. I lost a relationship with my father that was priceless beyond any jewel or any amount of money that could possibly be. And the nimshal, or the explanation of the mashal, goes a bit like this: is that very often in life, what we want and the packaging that it comes in are different things. Very often what we want to get out of spirituality and religion and our relationship with God is different to the packaging that it comes in. And we all, so to speak, have a assumption of what it is that we would like to get out of our lives or what we would like to achieve with our Torah. And very often the packaging is different. It's up to us to look beyond the superficial packaging and to try to find the innate depth that's there. And it's not going to be found with a cursory reading or with letting the rabbi do the whole kriya for you, or doing the whole service for you, or doing everything for you. You can't go to the gym and watch other people get fit and then complain that you're not doing anything at the gym, that you're not progressing at the gym. Torah, spirituality, is a gym. If you don't go and you don't run every day, you won't get fitter. If you don't study Torah every day, you won't gain it. If you don't pray, you won't build that connection. If you don't do mitzvot, you won't achieve the Torah. And that's really what it is right there. It's in front of us. Our traditions, our Torah, it's right there in front of us for us to take, for us to accumulate, to us to enjoy. And we shouldn't get lost in the periphery, in the superficial understanding of things, in the packaging of how it comes. It's up to each of us to delve individually into the Torah and to see what it says to us, how it speaks to us, and not to get lost in our social understandings and what is supposed to be in judgments in the community and hats and jackets and different things. We have to see beyond that. We have to go beyond that to the individual Torah, the Torah that happens when we as individuals read our texts and perform our mitzvot. It becomes something sacred to us individually. And hopefully we won't miss out on our relationship with our Abba B'Shamayim, our Father in heaven, and we can have success and growth in every area of our lives in Miyat Hashem.